Hello and welcome to this video lecture. In this video, we'll be talking about common mistake type 4B, or CMT4B. Remember and keep 3 steps in mind all the time, especially the first step. Once you've completed the first step, solving the problem becomes much easier. Common mistake type 3 and common mistake type 4A and B. Understanding CMT type 1 and 2 can get you to a score of 48. But if you're looking to attain a score of 49, 50, or 51, you have to master CMTs 3 and 4. Even though they appear in less than 5 DS questions, mastering them is very important to reach a score of 50 to 51. They do not apply to easier questions and can make a difference of 30 points per question. CMT3 and CMT4 generally form a part of the key questions, which deal with integers, statistics, probability, inequality, and absolute value. Let's look at the relationship between variable approach method and CMT3 and 4A and B. In key questions, that is, questions that deal with integers, statistics, probability, inequality, and absolute value, with at least 2 variables, the correct use of the combination of CMTs and the VA is likely to give you C as the answer. CMT4B appears in the exam from time to time if you're getting close to a score above 50. CMT4B does not appear in the exam as frequently as CMT4A. There are 1 or 2 questions per exam, but if you get those questions right, your score will increase by 30 points. Common mistake type 4A and B. Now, common mistake type 4 is often seen in key questions. CMT4 tells us that D is more likely to be the answer than A and B, and A and B is more likely to be the answer than C by the definition of DS questions. We have 2 cases when we are looking at CMT4. Case A. This is also known as CMT4A. And tells you that if you get C as an answer too easily, consider A or B as an answer. So if you're confused between A or C, then A is likely the answer. Also, if you are confused between B or C, then B is the likely answer. Case B. This is also known as CMT4B, and tells us that if you get A or B as an answer too easily, consider D as an answer. So, if you're confused between A, B, or D, then D is the likely answer. D is always the king, which beats every other choice. That is, D is greater than A or B, which is greater than C. If D is the answer, A, B, and C are the answers as well. And that's why this is a common mistake type. People tend to think that they are right by choosing A, B, or C in the actual exam. Common mistake type 4B. If you get A or B as an answer too easily, then consider D as an answer. Common mistake type 4 often appears in the key questions, which deal with integers, statistics, probability, inequality, and absolute value. CMT4B tells us that if the answer A or B is arrived at too quickly after counting variables and equations, consider D as an answer. In other words, for the key questions in DS, when A or B appears to be the answer, look for D as the answer. It is also likely in such questions that one of the conditions may seem to be more difficult and intimidating than the other. So, consider D after solving the tougher condition. The answer is D if one condition is easy and the other condition is hard. Can you imagine how beautiful this theory is? This theory provides a solution to the most difficult questions that appeared in recent exams. That's why CMT4B is important. CMT4B tells us that when both A and B appear to be an answer, D should be the answer. Only choose A or B when the other condition clearly is not sufficient. This is the most important definition, so memorize this carefully.